Welcome everyone to Nagoya, Japan, the final day of competition, the final event as we fly over the IG Arena, a spectacular new facility here in Nagoya, and the home to the Grand Prix final. 10,000 people in this arena. It's been electric so far on this day. I'm Ted Barton along with Mark Hanratty. The women's free program coming up in just a few moments. Mark, we saw the men's program that was so exciting, and yet we have another one to follow.
Yes, the men's event creating history with, well, don't listen if you don't want a spoiler, but Ilya Malinin from the United States of America breaking world records. And now as we see this incredible facility, we get excited at the increased likelihood of a home winner. There was disappointment to some extent in this arena that Yuma Kagiyama in the men's competition couldn't maintain the lead that he had cultivated and created after the short program. However, in this women's event, there is so much potential and indeed likelihood that one of the Japanese women will take the title. However, two Americans of Alisa and Amber Glenn will be eager to defy that statement.
Well, the top three so far: Mone Chiba of Japan, Alisa Liu of the United States, and Nakai, your top three. Rinka Watanabe in fourth place, Kaori Sakamoto in fifth, and Amber Glenn in sixth place. All brilliant skaters, wonderful programs. And we'll see what unfolds over the next hour or so.
And the constant reference, of course, will be which of the skaters will take the title but set the energy in this Olympic season. We're just 2 months away from the action starting in Milan at the Olympic Winter Games.
And interesting enough, Mark, and I want to ask you the question, how much do you think the triple axel means? Because other than the triple axel, the playing field is pretty even, pretty level.
It's a very good question, because the triple axel, obviously a higher base value technically, is being used by some. But for many, Kaori Sakamoto is the front runner, but we have to not forget the fact that the neutral athlete Adelia Petrosian has qualified to compete in the Olympics, and she has been working and delivering quadruple jumps as well. So the conversation for Olympic gold does include the likes of quadruple jumps. With that in mind, triple axels from the women that can do them in this field are necessary.
Well, we'll see how much the triple axel counts or matters here in this event as we take a look at the officials for the women's free program. And we have been treated to such wonderful energy, amazing programs, delightful moments, and some, disappointing moments as well for some of the athletes.
And there was disappointment for the women in the short program. The two more seasoned campaigners, Amber Glenn and Kaori Sakamoto, were deflated and despondent following their performances that find them the bottom two of the six. But certainly from a program component scores perspective, Kaori Sakamoto in practice this morning was sensational.
And here we go, the final introduction with the drums. It's been spectacular, beautiful pictures, wonderful coverage by the network here, and wonderful in-venue production overall. It's exciting. Our first skater represents the United States of America, Amber Glenn. And she is focused. We saw some beautiful triple axels from Amber this morning in practice session. She'll want to redeem herself a little bit from that short program. And up next, three-time world champion Kaori Sakamoto. And from Japan, Rinka Watanabe. And also from Japan, Ami Nakai. representing the United States of America, the current world champion, Alisa Liu. The leader after the short program from Japan, Mone Chiba. Here we go, Mark.
Well, the pressure on the athletes is enormous, and that has been the case across all the disciplines. But now with the pairs, the men and the ice dancers complete, all eyes now on the women. They the last to perform and vie for the gold. And so they, the ones that cannot disengage, as the arena and backstage is surrounded by other athletes who are relaxing. The intensity remains on the shoulders of these 6 skaters, and Amber Glenn certainly seems to be feeling that in practice this morning. Lots of brilliance showcased. She's very visibly deflated and disappointed because she won this event a year ago, and for many seasons now, Amber Glenn has been such a wonderful support mechanism and cheerleader for other American women, the likes of Isabel Levito and Alisa Liu. And now I think that skating community all sending their love to try to support Amber as she looks a little less self-confident.
Yeah, I noticed that a little bit in the practice today. Although she had a good practice session, she also looked a little, not worried, but
subdued.
Yeah, exactly. As we take a look at Kaori Sakamoto, and you talked a lot about this being her last year, so is there more, I don't want to say pressure, but more emotional component into a performance here tonight?
Well, Kaori Sakamoto's reaction to the disappointing short program was devastating to see. She's often such a joyful character, oozing fun around the venue, but the tears that flooded down her cheeks after the short program, perhaps all the more pertinent because this probably the last international performance in front of a home crowd for this star of the sport.
As we take a look at Rinka Watanabe, and she does have a triple axel. She did it in the short program, planning it here in the Prix, and she's had really a good year. She's here in the Grand Prix final, and we'll see what Rinka can deliver in the Prix program here tonight.
And Rinka, after the short program, was quoted as saying she felt so nervous she thought that she might die. And I don't know if that's a translation aspect, but it's almost comprehensible because you really do sense the massive pressure on all the skaters. It would be crippling to many, and yet they still continue.
And if we look at Ami Nakai, currently in 3rd place, just about 2 points away from silver, 4 points out of the gold medal position.
And Ami Nakai, the young contender, she in her first Grand Prix final. And you would kind of sense and hope that in her debut on this stage, she could perform with a blissful innocence, but the impending selection for the Japanese Olympic team continues to mount pressure for her here.
And one of the most consistently happy skaters, Alisa Liu, always happy to smile on her face and having fun. Even in practice when things don't go well, she sort of shrugs it off and talks with her coaches and seems to be enjoying the entire process. She was a junior sensation on the Junior Grand Prix for many years, took 2 years off, and now she's back in the senior category and current world champion.
And that is the difference. The time away from the ice has given her a perspective that frees her up.
And it often does with those skaters that step away from the sport for a while, and when they come back, it's for the pure love of it and for themselves, rather than skating for others that you feel responsible to, which many juniors do as they move up into senior.
But in the most prestigious event of the season thus far in the Olympic year, Mone Chiba absolutely delivered, and she doesn't just lead the other 5 women, but she has almost a 1.5 points in hand. And this Romeo and Juliet free skate for Mone Chiba is an exemplary showcase of her refinement and elegance.
As we can see, Amber Glenn just beginning to try to set up for that triple axel warm-up. She's now off camera, but as we watch her at center ice, and there it is. That was lovely.
And interestingly, Amber seeming very self-critical because we're seeing some wonderful jumping passes and doesn't seem to be fueled with the confidence that she deserves to have. She does have more content than Mone Chiba, has more content than Kaori Sakamoto, the front runners that we would have expected to lead the field in this event, but needs to, as she says, believe and breathe. But one thing saying it, another thing doing it, as we see the president of the International Skating Union, Mr. J. Yo Kim.
Well, absolutely true. You know, you can say it, but you have to believe it. We take a look at the president of the Japanese Skating Association.
And there's Mao Asada.
Oh, Mao Asada.
Oh, she the winner of the Grand Prix final in front of a home crowd 12 years ago. World champion, and Mao Asada, just one of the great names of women's figure skating, and she is humble and shy as it. Gosh,
didn't want to stand up.
You know, it makes her, she was so endearing as a champion when she competed, and she's showcasing why we loved her then with her humbleness in being introduced to the audience. There are people around the venue waving up to her, wanting more sights of that superstar from the past.
Please leave the eyes. Thank you.
And here we go. The final event here in Nagoya at the Grand Prix final. Our first skater, getting a hug from her coach, Damon Allen, last year's Grand Prix final champion. 6 after the short program here, Amber Glenn.
And Damon Allen there, looking like he was trying to give perspective to Amber. She's just a wonderful advocate for skating and a great, great human, and hopefully she recognizes her own value as a human, as a skater, and freeing herself up to deliver what she has been doing both in her training base in Colorado Springs and in Nagoya.
And she'll skate to I Will Find You and the return.
Best of starts, triple axel. And triple flip, triple toe loop combination. Stuff from Amber, triple lutz, double toe. held tight on the final triple loop.
Well, Mark, what we sort of considered an expression of uncertainty, perhaps that was really determined focus. She delivers a wonderful, clean program here in Nagoya.
Amber just systematically making her way through as her coach, Damon Allen, holds out the jacket. She delivering one of her best international free skates. She took to Instagram earlier today and posted a quote saying, "Maybe you're good just as you are." And she is. She doesn't need this skate to define herself, but hopefully she comes off the ice comforted by that triple axel and the subsequent triples that followed. Triple flip, triple toe was good. No review, so thus fully rotated. And as we look at that triple lutz double toe, we hear Amber speaking to the audience in the arena, saying thank you to the audience that helped push her through the second half of the skate, acknowledging she felt tired. And admittedly, the second half did look fatigued in terms of skating skills. It was slower than she's capable of, but poignant.
And there we saw really a beautiful spiral with a nice smile on her face, a feeling of relief to some degree to have such a strong program here in Nagoya.
Wonderful stuff for Amber. Oh, and there, just tapping her head, maybe acknowledging the pride that she has in believing in herself enough.
This part was a bit harder. This part was better.
She had good belief, she acknowledges, but maybe the breathing was hard. And she did say that to Drina when she was interviewed in the Kiss and Cry while we watched the replays.
Well, the score is 144.65. It is a season's best. She is the first skater out in this event, and she set the bar pretty high for the others to follow. 211.50 total competition score for Amber Glenn. Well, there is our next skater. So many emotions and thoughts perhaps going through the head of Kaori Sakamoto, three-time world champion, as she begins her journey to finish her career this season.
She's won a world championship title in front of a home crowd. She did that a couple of years ago in Saitama. This, very likely, the last international competitive performance by Kaori Sakamoto in front of a Japanese audience. Skating to music she's always wanted to use in her final competitive year. La vie en rose and hymne à l'amour for Kaori Sakamoto. incredible flow in and out of the triple flip. She traverses this ice surface with such command. Manages the triple loops that eluded her yesterday.
Le ciel bleu sur nous peut s'effondrer et la terre peut bien s'écrouler. Peu importe les problèmes, mon amour, puisque tu m'aimes. Jusqu'au bout du monde, je me ferai teindre en blonde si tu me le demandais. Je réunirai ma patrie, je réunirai mes amis si tu me le demandais. Nous aurons pour nous l'éternité dans le bleu de toute l'immensité, dans le ciel plus beau problème. Mon amour, crois-tu qu'on s'aime?
Oh. Okay, single axel, triple toe, double toe.
Rien de rien, non, je ne regrette rien, ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien, non, je ne regrette rien. Car ma vie, car mes joies, aujourd'hui, ça commence avec toi.
Well, forgive me the emotional reaction to Kaori Sakamoto, but seeing a smile on her face today is so heartwarming.
She wanted a clean program so badly. It was just a single axle at the end, but you can see her delight now and the delight of the fans who have followed her throughout her career. And those waves might be a thank you and a wave goodbye to some of these fans.
And that the fanship, the community, all in dismay at the reality that we won't see many more performances competitively from this skating star.
A three-time consecutive world champion, and that does not happen often in this era.
Well, the last time it happened was Peggy Fleming in the 60s. It's remarkable what she's achieved, and it was remarkable how she's continued to deliver. And this season, at this time in the season, she's consistently giving her best ever in these free skates. Yes, a single axle, but the jump quality that Kaori has is the best, apart from the loops.
And you know, what you've achieved in your whole life comes a little bit up to the top of your surface of your soul as you start to round out, as you start to finish your career. You start to look back and think and feel as we see this double axel fly across the ice.
And that's maximum creative execution quality. This, the jump that is her a little bit of a nemesis because of the edge call on the entry, but unlike yesterday, thank goodness she rotated a triple rather than the double. And here, the big money element for Kaori, triple flip, triple toe. And this, the surprise. However, thanks to the training that she's done, she didn't let that stop her from putting the triple toe, double toe on the end. And she does full run-throughs so regularly and repeatedly, and that's where the program component scores will really be bolstered. The speed that she has is great, but it's the ability to maintain speed throughout 4 minutes and to keep striving for that ice coverage. Her ice coverage is indisputably the best.
Her ability to accelerate with just a few steps and keep that momentum gliding throughout the program is just exceptional. We'll take a look at her scores. A 150.13 is her season's best. And this score on this night here in Nagoya is a 149.40. It is first in the Prix program, a little shy of her season's best, with a 218.80 total competition score.
Best part is seeing a smile back in the face of an adored skater.
Our next skater also represents Japan, Rinka Watanabi.
On the ice, representing Japan,
Rinka will include a higher base value than any of the skaters. She has 2 triple axels planned. The first of the triple axels in combination with triple toe loop. And a second triple axel landed, but much like the first, there'll be a review of the rotation. Continuing to serve, big difficulty elements, double axel, Euler, triple Sako. Oh, and just a mistake there, and the final triple loop.
Well, Rika Watanabi of Japan, so internally focused and determined. And we'll have to see the result of the reviews by the technical panel. There are 5 elements under review, and those under rotations might be the issue that most affects her chance of being on an Olympic spot.
Well, yes, Rinka Watanabe's current score coming in around 144, but the technical panel have 5 reviews to go through, and should they deem the jumps under-rotated, or perhaps in the case of the final triple, the triple loop downgraded, then that will continue to drop. But Rinka Watanabe attacked and delivered, knowing that she would need greater difficulty than others. 2 triple axels, 1 in combo with a triple toe loop. Such testament to her ambition, burning ambition to make the Olympic team. And if she's going to do that at this event, it would be really helpful to come out as the 3rd ranked of the 4 Japanese women.
And there was no way other than attack that was going to work for her, and she did that. Let's take a look at some of the elements here. The first triple axel, watch the landing. It is clean in the program, up into the triple toe loop, but that was under-rotated. Mark?
And the triple axel, the second one, so triple axel at full value would be 8 points, but because it's under-rotated, as you see there, it drops to 6.4, and then a negative grade of execution, taking it down further. So it gives you an insight into what happens after the program is finished and the technical panel assess the rotation. But, you know, Rinka Watanabe, she's never been in multiple appearances on the podium at the Japanese Senior National Championships, and this season she's getting ever closer. It's perilously close. And as I say, with that performance, whilst not perfect as she sinks to her knees, it's still a commanding one compared to the likes of Rion Sumiyoshi or the other Japanese women that we saw that didn't make the final. So she's showcasing consistency.
I so admire her determination throughout her whole career. I've watched her train as a junior, and she struggled, but she fought her way into medal positions on the Senior Grand Prix. She finds herself here in the final. Let's take a look at the score for the free program. It's a 136.46. That is 3rd in the free program with a total competition score of 207.14, and that puts her for the moment in the 3rd place.
207.14. She's currently in 3rd place.
That's why we love her.
There's a personality right back. Our next skater also represents Japan, Ami Nakai.
Representing Japan, Ami Nakai.
The youngest in the competition. She skates with some of the similar qualities to Kari Sakamoto, great speed and flow, but she has a triple axel planned, unlike Kaori.
She'll skate the free program here to What a Wonderful World.
I cannot believe the quality of that triple axel. I haven't seen one like that at all in Nagoya. The triple lutz landing. Super successful and a big value sequence of triple lutz and 2 double axels. Oh, and another very valuable triple flip, triple toe. Ami Nakai from Japan skates with just joyful honesty. She just oozes a sincerity and movement to beautiful music, and I sense that this is almost a passing of the baton from one gorgeously expressive and open skater, Kaori Sakamoto, at the end of her senior career, to this skater at the start of hers, Ami Nakai, a delight to watch.
Yeah, you can see the transition of time that is unfolding in front of us from one generation to the next, and many more to come. I mean, they have so many beautiful, wonderful skaters here in Japan. And we have the honor to watch on this night here in Nagoya.
Just the look at the opening of the program up to the judges and then skyward, there's a sensitivity here. This triple axel, I saw so many popped triple axels in training where she was barely managing the double, and yet her coach rightfully celebrates a really quality one, as we see the only mistake in the program. And what I most have engaged with in watching Ami Nakai is that gorgeous expression that she oozes, and she is the youngest in the event, and yet she had the self-confidence to perform and really express.
Yeah, the expression, you know, her choreography is fantastic already, but the expression of her face just enhances the choreography, the joy of skating and the joy of that song.
And it is the expressiveness and the projection that the judges will reward in the presentation component score, and that actually will be the highest of the three.
Well, she has a season's best of 149.08. And she'll need a score of 144.90 or better to take the lead. As Kaori, now the personality really comes out.
Back to back.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the scores as she holds her breath to hear the numbers. 146.98. That's a second of the free. She's a little unsure what that means. 220.89 as Ami Nakai of Japan takes the lead. Now the tears begin to flow.
Significant result for Ami Nakai above again this season. Kaori Sakamoto.
Our next skater represents the United States of America, the current world champion, Alisa Liu.
And Alisa will perform again to the music that won her the world title in Boston.
And she will skate to the MacArthur Park Suite by Donna Summer.
Alisa lands her triple lutz, triple toe combo. Triple H, double axel, double toe sequence. And that double axel rounds out a clean skate for the world champion.
Well, Alisa Leo of the United States, she brings her charm to the ice every time, and her convincing authenticity of her skating spirit to the music. It's so charming, it's so special. Her technical elements, she doesn't have the triple axel, but she has this magic.
And so often, world champions in this women's figure skating discipline will skate to intense and passionate music, but this disco vibe, it's like Alisa Liu is having a party every time and everyone is invited.
Well said.
And Coach Philip and Massimo found her. It's just remarkable because she's just so chilled.
But she's so real, you know, in performance and in practice at all times. As we take a look at the triple flip, opening the program. Wonderful flow in the landing.
And it's almost like Alisa's reinventing the expectations of how you have to conduct yourself as a world champion, because we just assumed that as an elite athlete and a world champion in our sport that it has to be serious and intense, and she's demystifying that as we look at this triple lutz, double axel, double toe sequence. And that, like all but one of the triples, is fully rotated. There's a Q rotation on her triple, the second element, but otherwise, a stellar skate.
Well, you know, whether it is real or not, you know, that's just like, and I think it is real, her pure joy of skating, she just brings it to the ice, and she's not thinking about the competitive moment. She's just having fun doing it.
And that's
what it looks like.
Well, she enrolled at the University of California studying psychology, and maybe that's why she comes with this laissez-faire approach, but it's working for her.
That's for sure. Well, her season's best is 140.54, and this is a 146.70 season's best. That is third, though, in the free program. However, a season's best total score of 222.49 as Alisa Liu for the United States. The current world champion takes the lead with one skater to come.
She wants to...
And there is the final skater, the leader after the short program, with Coach Mia Hamada at the boards. Forehead touches. A touch of luck for her skaters. Mone Chiba from Japan, final skater in the women's free.
Well, Mone Chiba's coach and her student and her training mate Mao Shimada won the junior women's title. Mone Chiba leads the senior event, wanting to take the title.
She'll need a 145.23 to take the title as she will skate to Romeo and Juliet.
Triple flip, a triple toe opening Mone's program. Difficult reverse wally transition into a fall on the triple loop. This is the nightmare Mone, and nobody here in the audience wanted to see a fall on triple Sako.
His name is Watanabi, and the multitude is some of your great enemy.
Needs to use that double axel now to resurrect some confidence. Triple loose double axel sequence. The Grand Prix final 2025 in Nagoya, Japan has been mesmeric for so many reasons from start. But the drama and this, the worst way to end what has been an amazing competition. Nobody here wanted to see Mone Chiba, the leader after their short program, falling apart. And that fall on the triple loop paved the way for another fall in the Salchow, and that has so many implications, not just in the technical score, but it forces the judges with serious errors like that to drop the components as well, and her win in the short program could now have resulted in the worst place free skate.
Yes, and also skating last is always very difficult. The same thing for Yuma Kageyama in the men's event. The pressure is on, the competition's in front of you, and you're the last one standing, and you have to deliver on that moment. And that is not easy to do, and Mone had some challenges here tonight for sure. Such a beautiful skater, wonderful.
She really is. She's just so refined, classy, and elegant. And she opened as we expected. Her consistency has been commonplace. The triple flip, triple toe, and the beautiful landing. But here, rushing takeoff, no elevation, no pop, and a torrid fall that you can see the coaches want to hide from, understandably. And then rushing again, just not getting the pop and the elevation on that Salchow. And might be a two-footed landing there in the double axel as well before things started to come good again. But the damage was done for this wonderful skater from Sendai. Her strength is so often in her program component scores, but the program component scores caveat is that if serious errors occur, the max score that she can have is an 8.75, and they'll drop even further adrift from that, so she can't get any help really from what is normally her strength from the judges.
And you know, it's one thing about this event and where she will end up. She's obviously going to drop, but how does this impact her chase for the Olympic position on the Japanese team?
Well, prior to this competition, I was confident in assuming that Mone would join Kaori Sakamoto on the Olympic team. It's still very definitely possible, but this was far from the advert she wanted to use going into the Japanese nationals. And it looks like the leader in that chair, the world champion, is going to take the Grand Prix final. Well,
her season's best was 144.94. This is way short of that on the day she needed that score. It's a 132.95. That is sixth and last in the free program with a 210.22 total competition score. She will drop from first to fifth.
Everybody now just wanting to hug this disconsolate 20-year-old Mone Chiba.
And now, the winner of Grand Prix final is Alisa. Congratulations.
Look at the good grace of Alisa Liu, not celebrating overtly because, well, maybe she's celebrating a bit more. She recognises how that performance will have affected an arena that wanted to see a Japanese win. They had to suffer a Japanese loss of the lead after the short program in the men's event to an American, and that's happening again now.
I was just saying, in the final two events, the Americans climbed away up the ladder on top, and both world champions retain or are the champions here at the Grand Prix finals. We take a look at the standings, or the final standings in the women's event. Alisa Liu in first, Nakai in second, Kaori Sakamoto in third.
And Kaori wins the free skate significantly. Had she not done a double lutz, then she would have been triumphant here. But hopefully the free skate gives her the confidence for the Olympic Games. And Kaori Sakamoto surely now the most convincing member of that Japanese Skating Federation's choice.
And the competition within the competition here, particularly for the Japanese athletes and the spots that they are chasing to represent this country, this great skating country, at the Olympic Games in February. We'll hear from the champion. There she is.
Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for women's skating, the winner, Alisa Liu. Well, Alisa, congratulations. How do you feel right now? You're the diva, you're the queen. 見事、皆さんを虜にして優勝を果たしました。今のお気持ち、お聞かせください。
I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bit sweaty, a little hot, but I'm feeling pretty good overall. But there's something else I want to do right now.
はい、実は今ちょっと汗もかいていますし、まだまだ体がほてっているんですけれども、気持ち的にはとても良い気持ちです。で、実は今私ちょっとやりたいと思っていることがあるんです。
You want to do something? What do you want to do for the next? 何をしたいのか聞いてみましょう。
I kind of want to play the taiko.
太鼓をぜひ演じたいと思っているんです。
Okay. Why don't we なぜこれはもちろんですね。それじゃあ OK, this is surprise. Surprising.
the drum is
Alisa wants to
coming.
take the drum.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. So,
That's hilarious.
じゃあ皆さんで3、2、1で言いましょうか。Everybody are ready? Countdown from 3, 2, 1. Wow, once again.
Well, that was a
What
short.
a nice play drums by Alisa
Oh, well done.
Liu. 素晴らしいドラムを叩いてくれました。さあ最後にメッセージをいただきましょう。We want to have a message from you to whole Japanese crowd loving you so much. So, can we have a message? 皆さんにメッセージいただきましょう。
皆さんありがとうございます。I enjoyed skating for all of you and I love Japan and I want to be back here competing another year. So I hope to see you guys and I hope you all continue to support the women's event.
本当にここで皆さんの前で演技をすることができてとても楽しかったです。私は日本が大好きなのでまた来年も日本に戻ってきて演技をしたいと思っています。そのためにも皆さんまた続けてフィギュアをぜひ応援してください。
Okay, thank you very much. Once again, everybody make some noise for the winner, Alisa Liu.
She's a free spirit. She's so charming. You don't know what to expect.
Well, the sport wants characters to
Yeah.
engage and entice a new audience, and there's few more fascinating characters than that world champion Alisa Liu.
And Kaori Sakamoto as well. Amazing. Well, that was fun. And that now the competition is over as we get prepared for the medal presentations in the women's and the men's event. Mark, wrap up your feelings about this event here tonight.
Well, to me, it has been a celebration of not just brilliant skating, but exciting competition. Kaori Sakamoto takes the best winning free skate today, but the disappointment of her short program prevents her from taking the title. However, she is consistently producing in a way that makes her the favorite for the Olympic title, and how so many people would love to see her add Olympic gold to the 3 World Championship golds she has. And the similarity between the performance ability of this skater, Ami Nakai, and Kaori Sakamoto seems so poignant and significant. As I say, one entering into their senior career as one departs, and Ami Nakai's just effervescent openness of performance, a joy to behold as she takes an elated silver. Oh, look at the, oh. But in the event that had the majority of competitors coming from the home nation here, it is the American Alisa Liu who takes the title, much like Amber Glenn did a year ago at the Grand Prix final when she was the only non-Japanese skater. Alisa's party skate that took her to gold in Boston at the World Championship now takes her to gold at the Grand Prix final. Hard to comprehend that character out there had never won a medal at a Grand Prix event before this year, and now she has the best of coloured medals at the Grand Prix final.
Wow, what an amazing competition. You know, in competition, you're going to have those skaters that make mistakes and those have brilliant performances, but the sport itself stands true. It's a wonderful sport to watch. It's brutal. We've talked about how brutal this is. You're the only person on the ice with all the eyes in the building on you and all the eyes around the world on television on you. Every mistake, every wrong step, they see.
And then the drama of elite competitive figure skating, the casualty on this occasion was Mone Chiba. And the brutality, as you say, Ted, is showcased with a skater who was first in the short program and last in the free skate. So it paves the way for an Olympic Games that you need.
You know, it's one thing to prepare and train your program several times a day and to be in good shape and be able to do the triple axel, triple left, triple toe combination, all those types of things. That's one job that you have. But then you have to take that job out of your training rink and put it into a venue of which you never train in with 10,000 fans. That itself is just mind-boggling as to how your brain can play tricks on you, and then how do you have to learn to cope with that, adapt, adjust, and perform on cue?
And this is such an articulate and pertinent point, because the skater that suffered today, Mone Chiba, is one that is renowned for being one of the most prepared in practice. One of the skaters that diligently and repeatedly does the run-throughs that are so demanding and so physical that everybody wants to avoid. That skater does them religiously, and yet that wasn't enough to cope with the different pressures mentally that this competition.
The moment was too big, and the training was for training, but it was hard to train for that moment, that big moment. As we enter into the victory ceremony for the women.
And I'm excited to see this victory ceremony as the spectrum of emotions likely to be on display. We saw after the event the silver medalist Ami Nakai in tears of both joy at her result and perhaps sadness to find herself above the world champion Kaori Sakamoto as they shared an embrace. And then the comedy of Alisa Liu, who is now a Japanese taiko drummer.
Absolutely, and you wonder what lies ahead for Kaori Sakamoto after this season. And of course, we've got some more performances to enjoy, but she is such an incredible personality, a wonderful athlete, a wonderful spokesperson. I'm quite sure she'll be involved in media and presentations.
Well, as Kaori Sakamoto gets ready to take to the ice to achieve her bronze medal, we've seen in this venue Mao Asada, the former world champion from Japan, and Mao has been performing, creating her own professional shows to huge audiences, akin to what the legend Yuzuru Hanyu does. So perhaps that is something in the future of this skating star, Kaori Sakamoto. She rounds out her Grand Prix competition. She's been a resident campaigner for so many years on the International Skating Union Grand Prix, and today was the last of her participations.
And she brings a sense of humor and a charm into a stressful environment, but not just for herself and the fans, but for her competitors. She's so supportive of those she competes against.
And you know, that's one of the factors that's just made her so beloved.
And winning the silver medal, Ami Nakai.
And now what Ami has done in beating Kaori Sakamoto again makes her the second time that she has defeated Kaori this season. She won at the Grand Prix de France, and now she triumphs over Kaori again.
And can you imagine just a week from now, these skaters have to come down and go up within a few days for the national championships, of which the audience will be just as big and the tension just as much.
So true, and that's a rigorous demand in which now they have to, with their teams, really question how to prepare over the next few days, because the exertion of this and the emotional toll of this requires some respite as they embrace.
Wow. And the champion here from the United States of America, the charming, the free-spirited Alisa Liu.
And literally lets her hair down.
She's the star.
Yeah. And I think Alisa's chilled vibe and relaxed approach surprises many, and some question it, but it's working, and it's to be celebrated.
You know, I don't question it at all after how stringent the junior career was. 2-year break, growth and maturity, coming back for the love of the sport and doing it her way.
And 3 skaters on the podium who just all as humans ooze joy.
When you think back a number of decades ago, the tension between the competitors on the podium, you could feel it in the building, and here you feel love and joy, and it's so delightful.
We've seen podiums where skaters refuse to stand on the rostrum and don't want to achieve their medals in defiance against the result.
Exactly.
We've seen competitors famously whack their, or be involved in the sabotage of their competitors. But the skaters now competing on this stage are adverts for sportsmanship, and that's such a huge part of the Olympic Games. And the Olympic Games, obviously, the thing which all three of the medalists want to be a huge, huge part of come February.
That's one of the great things that the sport, through the junior Grand Prix into the seniors, we see the medals being hung around the neck. And the president of the Japanese Skating Federation presenting the gifts, flowers. We've seen the growth of human interaction and sportsmanship in our sport to a really, really high standard. And an example for all to follow.
入賞選手の栄誉をたたえ、国旗を掲揚し、優勝選手の国歌を演奏いたします。皆様、よろしければご起立の上、国旗にご注目ください。
Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please stand for the national anthem of the winner.
Well, Mark, here in Nagoya, 3 of the 4 events were owned by the United States of America. The skaters from the U.S. rising to the top of the podium again, but there are bigger mountains to climb.
That poses questions about what will happen at the team event at the Olympic Games, because it could quite easily have been 3 out of 4 for Japanese competitors, because we saw Yuma Kageyama leading after the short program in the men's event, and of course many predicted and expected that the title in this women's event would be won by a Japanese skater to add to the success of Miura and Kihara in the pairs event. So that will be another exciting addition to look forward to at the Olympic Winter Games, when Team USA and Team Japan go up against each other.
And we stand here in this arena and we see the audience with their flashlights going to the music and cheering on all the skaters, even though their titles, or the titles that they felt they might win here, did not materialize on this day. These fans love this sport and they love every one of the outfits. Of course they would like their own skaters to win, no question, but it didn't dampen the environment in this rink with what we were witness to here tonight.
Well, yes, indeed, this Japanese audience is signifying and equalizing what we see between the Japanese competitors. Respect.
And now the 3 who competed against one another work together on the ice to celebrate, wrapped in their flags.
And there, the team leaders making sure that flags are on site and available.
And of course, these pictures taken by the social media groups of each one of the federations and instantly put up online for all those back home to celebrate.
I think you would have predicted that Alisa Liu, despite being the world champion, would come away with the title win here. But now, having done what she has achieved in Nagoya, Japan, to add to that world title from Boston, now the conversation and the landscape of predictions for the Olympic Winter Games starts to change a little bit.
You know, Howard, when you bring that up, I'm thinking to myself, I said, well, we've seen Alisa skate the best she can skate technically, maybe a little bit more here or there, but a little bit more speed, but she's not going to add the triple axel, so there's nowhere to go to improve except for maybe a little bit more speed, et cetera, but no new elements.
However, the likelihood of Alisa changing her program is great. She previously started this season with a Lady Gaga free skate and then returned to the MacArthur Park that she used last season. However, she has acknowledged that she's continuing to work on that new piece, so perhaps by the US National Championships in early January, she will unveil or reveal that program. But now this win maybe begs the question, why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's a very difficult decision because the new program, if it's fantastic and charming, brings a freshness and a new look to her on the big stage. But if it's not, then she's been successful with this program, but does that get tired?
So maybe she's a victim of this success and perhaps readdressing the plans that we thought she was going to make.
Well, look, we don't have any idea. We're just talking about this as we witness these incredible athletes with big smiles on their face. They're brilliant. And what will happen over the next 3 months as we all enjoy the sport of figure skating as we lead up to the Olympic Winter Games in Milano. But there are national championships titles at stake. Europeans, 4 continents. Maybe these athletes go to those, maybe they don't, depending on their preparation as they lead up to the Olympics.
It seems so close now. The team event will start the Olympic Winter Games for figure skating, and it's just a couple of months away. And it's an interesting point you make, Ted, about what will Alisa do moving forward. What more can be done? Kari Sakamoto had a popped double axel. There's a couple of points laid on the table there.
Yeah.
There's a fall for Ami Nakai. Perhaps had either of those two not had those mistakes, they would have come away with the title. Kari Sakamoto, I think, still the greatest contender because she had her weakest short program on this day. But as I mentioned at the top of the program, Adelia Petrosian will be there too, and she has the ammunition of quadruple jumps.
Absolutely. Let's not forget about Adelia because, you know, she isn't present in our minds right now as we are witnessing this event. But it leaves a lot of questions, and that's one of the things that's going to make the Olympic Games so exciting. Got a chance to hold those medals a little bit earlier today. I could hardly lift it. It's so heavy.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, great shot.
And again, as we consider other skaters, it's interesting to note that Mao Shimada, the winner of the junior event, her score of 218 would have been very close to a podium place here, and that with half a minute less in her free skate. So the future beyond this Olympic cycle from the juniors that competed here in Nagoya definitely looking bright.
have done a wonderful job of coverage of this event with their camera angles and their shots, and it enhances the sport and the enjoyment for the viewer and for us here.
Sakamoto is so often responsible for the group selfie after the exhibition gala performances, and now taking some footage of both the arena and Ami Nakai. Ami Nakai, 8 years her junior, 2 Olympic cycles her junior. What can we look forward to seeing Kaori Sakamoto coming toward her 3rd Olympic Winter Games? Will that be something similar that Ami Nakai will follow?
As they will exit the ice in just a few moments as we get prepared for the men's victory ceremony.
The women's victory ceremony.
続きまして男子シングルの表彰式を行います。準備が整いますので今しばらくお待ちください。
And the victory ceremony for men will commence shortly. Please stay with us.
Well, Mark, we have the exhibitions tomorrow to cover, and that will be a lot of fun. We hope that everyone will join us for that. The skaters will be free to perform whatever they want to, and usually they have a lot of fun. And usually what happens, they have to come in early in the morning and get trained on the group numbers and what's going to happen. So it's a long day tomorrow as well for them. But, you know, it's a lot more fun for them as well.
And in a sport where it is so single-minded and so focused with a tunnel vision on your individual self, the gala and the gala practice that they have to attend, a chance for them to connect and share, because these athletes, incredible as they are, share, you know, the uniqueness of the life experience that is devoted and overcome by figure skating commitment.
You know, these are some of the moments they will never forget in their life as we get set for the victory ceremony of the men.
ISU グランプリファイナル国際フィギュアスケート競技大会愛知名古屋2025男子シングルの表彰式を開始いたします。
ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating Final 2025 Aichi Nagoya Victory Ceremony Men.
第3位佐藤俊さん。
Well, the winner of the bronze medal here in Nagoya, Shun Sato.
Shun was incredible in the free skate in what was a phenomenal event, and now he takes away from this competition a new ISU personal best, both in his free skate and overall.
And newfound confidence that he can do it under the pressure.
And Shun battled through the Grand Prix series with a niggling injury to make it to the final, but now has said that the pain is gone. He's no longer having to endure pain in training, and so perhaps he'll continue to increase and improve his form, getting ever closer to breaking the 300-point marker, which is a massive coup that few achieve.
Well, the leader after the short program, a brilliant skater, Yuma Kagami of Japan, didn't have his best free skating last. It was a difficult one, Mark.
Yes, Yuma, in an event where there were so many personal bests, 50% of this men's Grand Prix in the senior category had personal bests in the free skate. Yuma was not one of them. However, the takeaways for Yuma are a new personal best in the short program, And that had been, up till this point in the season, his weaker of his two performances. And I think he's broken the back of a bit of an elephant in the room by not surpassing the short program score he achieved at the Beijing Winter Olympics.
Well, an appropriate nickname for the champion here, Ilya Malinin, the quad god.
Just so much groundbreaking. World records, yes, but it's more than world records as he peeks out to see the audience. It's elevating skating in a way that other athletes in other sports have done. There's the backflip. To me, it will make similarities to other sporting greats like Simone Biles, who revolutionized gymnastic expectations. Ilya Malinin has just blown apart what we perceive to be necessary to be successful in our sport.
Well, he's most certainly a Hall of Fame member to be in the future.
Yeah, for sure. And new costumes for this event. Satomi Ito, the costume designer and maker, unveiling new material that has gold adorning the top. And gold is the color of the medal that he continues in an undefeated streak to wear around his neck.
And that might have been the most that he has made up, 14 points or 16 points behind after the short program.
Please welcome the ISU representative, Georgi Elek.
And as the ISU representative gets ready to congratulate the medalists, you mentioned about the gap that Ilya had to claw back from the short program is the reason that he doesn't come away with a world record overall. Nathan Chen still has that just by about 3 points. Nathan Chen has the overall world record of 335 points. But it wouldn't surprise many if Mr. Quad God surpasses it by the end of this season. And interestingly, as I say, Ilya immediately upon departing the ice referenced a mistake in his step sequence. He missed one of the clusters. His choreo sequence wasn't as good as we saw in training. And so the world record that he smashed by 10 points today, he can see where it can be further beaten.
Yeah, to be so aware and so alert during your performance and be able to assess that the moment you step off the ice is extraordinary.
Testament to the acumen mentally as he tabulated what took place.
We
will hear the national anthem of the winner from the United States for a third time here at the Grand Prix final.
メダリストたちにもう一度盛大な拍手をお願いいたします。
Ladies and gentlemen, these are your medalists.
Well, Mark, as we begin to slowly wrap up this final day of competition, your thoughts not only on the events that we've witnessed, the great skates, but this whole event in itself, what the ISU is doing to up the experience for the live audience, of course the broadcast in the future as well. Your thoughts?
We are in the fortunate position of being aware of all the work that is happening behind the scenes as the International Skating Union pushes its vision in 2030. And the wonderful skating that we have been able to enjoy, captured by the host broadcaster so beautifully, as special and magnificent as it has been, I predict will continue to grow and grow, and the future looks bright for figure skating.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think that the energy inside the building with the presentation has helped the performances. The athletes, when they come into an arena that inspires them and requires them to be at the highest level, I think that helps the product itself on the ice.
And this, a record-breaking 6th time that the Grand Prix final has been held in one country, Japan. 6 times the host for the skaters at this caliber of event, and that a true reflection of the popularity of the sport in this nation, and also a kind of payback and thanks and gratitude to the Japanese Skating Federation for being a part of creating so many wonderful skaters. And hopefully now what has been witnessed in Nagoya by the skating community will have inspired others to continue to elevate the standards in different skating nations.
Well, Mark, I want to thank you for your expertise on all of these broadcasts that we've had, both in the junior and in the senior. Of course, we will be on air tomorrow for the exhibition, and that will be fun for not only the skaters, but for us watching as well, as we see the athletes take their victory lap here in Nagoya, Japan, on the final day of competition on the Grand Prix final. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage of the women's and the men's event. We hope you'll join us tomorrow for the exhibition. For all of us here, thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.
Listen to
しまして男子シングルの表彰式を終了いたします。
And this concludes the men's victory ceremony.
この後規制退場を行います。どうぞお席でお待ちください。
ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating Final 愛知名古屋2025。皆さん本日は最後までありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
皆さん最後まで楽しかったです。
手痛いんですよ今。
赤くなってますね。
そうなんです。ずっと拍手してました今日。
素晴らしい演技が目白押しでした。そして村本さんもどうでしたか？
はい、この熾烈な戦いをね、もう目の前で見れて、ちょっと私も興奮が収まらないです。はい。
このショーアップされた中でたくさんの中でお客さんの中でやったという感じは日本の